Let me tell you something that happened to me once, and I want you to really listen, because this might be the most important thing you hear all week, possibly all year. And if you are the kind of person who has been working hard, doing all the right things, saying your affirmations in the mirror every morning while your coffee gets cold, and yet somehow, the money just is not flowing the way you know it should be, then pull up a chair, get comfortable, and let us have a little talk tonight. Now I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, here we go. Another person about to tell me to think positive thoughts, and the money will just rain down from the sky like confetti at a parade. And I want you to know, I hear you, I see you, and I am not here to do that to you. What I am here to do is something far more interesting, far more practical, and honestly a little bit more fun than that. So, let us start at the very beginning, because that is always the best place to start. And the beginning of your money problem, my dear friend, is not your bank account. It is not your boss. It is not the economy. It is not even that cousin who borrowed $200 from you in 2019 and has not mentioned it since. The beginning of your money problem is something that is happening right now, tonight, while you are sitting here watching this video. And it is something that will continue happening tonight while you sleep. And this is actually very good news. Because tonight, while you sleep, we are going to fix it. Now stay with me here, because I want to paint you a picture. Imagine that you have a garden, a beautiful garden, full of the most extraordinary potential. The soil is rich, the sun is shining, the rain comes at just the right moments, and everything about this garden is perfectly designed to grow the most magnificent, abundant, spectacular flowers and fruits you have ever seen in your life. Now imagine that every single morning you walk out into that garden, and instead of planting seeds, instead of watering what is already growing, you walk out there and you start pulling things up. You yank out the seedlings. You pour a little bit of doubt on the soil. You tell the garden it is not working fast enough. You compare your garden to your neighbor's garden and declare yours a failure. And then you walk back inside, wondering why nothing is growing. That garden is your mind. And that is exactly what most of us have been doing with our relationship to money our entire lives. And we have been doing it so automatically, so unconsciously, so thoroughly ingrained in our daily routine that we do not even notice we are doing it anymore. It has become as natural as breathing, except instead of breathing life in, we are breathing abundance out. And here is the part that I really want you to sit with for a moment, because this is where it gets fascinating and a little bit uncomfortable at the same time. The reason your money is not flowing, the real reason, the underneath it all, root of the whole, tree reason, is because somewhere in your subconscious mind, and I know this sounds dramatic, but please stay with me, somewhere deep in the basement of your beautiful brain, there is a belief that says money is hard to get, or that you do not deserve it, or that wanting more makes you greedy, or that people like you do not just have abundance show up in their lives, that is for other people. People with connections, people with luck, people who were born into the right circumstances. And here is the delicious irony of the whole situation. You have been working so hard against yourself that you have become genuinely brilliant at it. You have mastered the art of blocking your own flow. And tonight, we are going to uninstall that particular talent and replace it with something far more useful. Now, I want to tell you about the law that governs all of this. And I want to do it in a way that does not make your eyes glaze over. Because I know the moment someone says the word law in a spiritual context, half of you immediately start thinking about whether you remembered to take the laundry out of the dryer. So let us talk about this practically. There is a principle, older than any of us, older than any book that has ever been written, that says the universe, life, the great organizing intelligence of everything, whatever you want to call it, operates on a system of return. What you send out comes back. What you put into the field of your life comes back, multiplied. Now, this is not magic. This is not wishful thinking. This is actually how the most brilliant minds in physics, in neuroscience, in psychology, have been describing reality for the better part of a century. They just use different words for it. When you send out fear about money, when you wake up at 3 a.m. doing math in your head that makes you feel like you are drowning, when you walk past some So, you've noticed it too. The money isn't flowing. It trickles in, hesitates, looks around your bank account like it just entered the wrong house, and quietly slips back out the door. You work hard, you try, you plan, you even budget sometimes heroically, and yet money still behaves like a shy guest who never stays long enough to help with the rent. Now, let me begin by saying something that may feel like a warm cup of tea to your spirit. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not cursed. You are not unlucky. And contrary to what your relatives may have suggested at family gatherings, you are not bad with money. You are simply running an invisible program, one that was written long before you ever checked your first balance. You see, money does not respond first to effort. It responds to agreement, to belief, to expectation, to the quiet emotional instructions you give it, especially the ones you repeat while brushing your teeth or lying awake at 2 a.m., calculating bills like a mathematician of worry. And tonight, yes, tonight, while you sleep, we are going to begin rewriting that agreement. Because money flows where it feels welcomed, expected, and directed. Let me explain. Have you ever noticed how two people can work the same job, earn similar salaries, yet live in completely different financial realities? One always has opportunities, bonuses, lucky breaks. The other? Constant emergencies, car repairs, sudden expenses that appear like uninvited guests with luggage. This is not chance. This is consciousness in motion. Money is energy with instructions. And most people, without realizing it, are giving it eviction notices all day long. I never have enough. Money goes as soon as it comes. I'm just trying to survive. Now imagine saying to a guest in your home, "You won't stay long anyway. You'll probably leave. There's never enough space for you here." How long would they remain? Exactly. Money listens not to your wishes, but to your dominant declarations. Now don't worry, I'm not here to scold you. I'm here to liberate you. Because once you see the pattern, you can change the pattern. Let's look at the real challenge. The core problem is not income. It is circulation, flow. You don't suffer from lack of money. You suffer from blocked channels. Like a river clogged with debris, the supply slows, not because the source dried up, but because the passage narrowed. And what creates these blockages? Fear, resentment, guilt about having more than others, secret beliefs that wealth is greedy, corrupt, or not spiritual. Oh yes, many wonderful, kind people unknowingly push money away because deep inside they believe goodness requires struggle. But money is not moral or immoral. It is obedient. It magnifies the heart that holds it. Give it to a generous soul, it builds schools. Give it to a fearful mind, it builds prisons of anxiety. So tonight we begin with a simple but powerful framework. Expectation, emotion, permission, flow. Expectation is the signal you send ahead of you. Emotion is the magnet that energizes it. Permission is the gate that either opens or closes. Flow is the result. If you expect bills, fear bills, and feel guilty about wealth, you unconsciously shut the gate. If you expect provision, feel gratitude, and permit increase, the gate opens. Now here is where humor helps us swallow truth. Some people pray for money, and then panic when they check their account 5 minutes later. They say, "Universe, send abundance." Then refresh their banking app like it's a slot machine. Faith does not mean anxiety with polite words. Faith is calm expectation. It is ordering at a restaurant and not running into the kitchen to supervise the chef. You place the order, then you sit, knowing it is coming. So let's get practical, because inspiration without action is just entertainment. Tonight, before you sleep, I want you to do something simple, almost playful, but profoundly effective. Take a notebook or the Notes app, if you're modern and efficient, and write this statement. Money flows to me freely, joyfully, and in increasing amounts. Yes, I know. Part of you rolled your eyes just now. Stay with me. You are not lying to yourself. You are installing a new expectation. Remember, the mind accepts repetition as reality. Then write 3 specific channels through which money can come. Unexpected payments, new opportunities, ideas that create income. This widens the river. You are telling life, I am open to supply from expected and unexpected sources. Next step, and this one is important, gratitude, but not generic gratitude like, thanks for everything. Specific gratitude, thank you for the money already on its way. Thank you for provision I cannot yet see. Thank you for financial peace, replacing financial pressure. Gratitude is emotional permission. It signals readiness. Now let's address something many people secretly do. They resent others' wealth. They scroll social media and say, must be nice. That phrase alone can choke your financial flow. Because what you resent, you reject. If wealth disgusts you, why would it come to you? So we replace resentment with blessing. When you see someone prosper, say quietly, wonderful. Wealth circulates. There is more than enough. You are aligning, not comparing. Now let's talk about sleep, because tonight matters. Sleep is when the conscious guard relaxes and the deeper mind receives instruction without argument. It is fertile soil. So as you lie down tonight, instead of replaying financial worries like a tragic movie marathon, give your mind a new script. Repeat slowly, calmly. Divine supply now meets every financial need in perfect ways. Feel relief while saying it, not desperation. Relief. Your subconscious responds to feeling more than words. And while you sleep, solutions organize. Ideas form. Opportunities move. You may wake with an inspired thought, a message, a contact, a direction you didn't see before. This is not magic, it is alignment. Now, let me lighten the mood again. Some of you want money to flow, but panic when it starts moving. You save so tightly that circulation stops. Money suffocates in fear. Flow requires movement, wise movement. Yes, but movement. Think of it like breathing. Inhale, exhale, receive, release. When you spend with fear, you declare loss. When you circulate with trust, you declare continuity. So the goal is not hoarding, but harmonious flow. Earn wisely, spend consciously, invest confidently, give joyfully. That 4-part rhythm keeps channels open. Now I want to acknowledge your struggle again because it is real. You've faced delays, disappointments, moments where you did everything right and still felt stuck. I see you, and I want you to understand something liberating. Delay is not denial. Often, it is redirection, preparation, or protection. Sometimes the opportunity you wanted would have drained you more than it paid you. Supply arrives best when you are ready to hold it without fear. So if money has been slow, don't interpret it as rejection. Interpret it as recalibration. Now here comes your immediate action step. Tonight, do 3 things. Write the flow affirmation. List 3 supply channels. Fall asleep repeating the provision statement. Do this for 7 nights. Not obsessively, gently, like planting seeds. Not digging them up hourly to check growth. Then watch your thoughts change. Watch your posture around money shift. Watch opportunities begin to appear, some small, some surprising. Flow often begins subtly before it becomes obvious. And when it starts, acknowledge it immediately. Gratitude accelerates circulation. Now as we close, I want you to feel encouraged, not pressured. Financial transformation is not punishment. It is permission. You are not forcing money to come. You are allowing it. You are reopening channels that were never meant to close. So tonight, instead of sleeping with worry, sleep with expectation. Instead of rehearsing lack, rehearse provision. And if this message stirred something in you, an idea, a sense of relief, a spark of possibility, don't let it end here. Act on it. Comment with 1 affirmation you're installing tonight. Subscribe if you're ready to keep strengthening your financial consciousness. Because the more you train your inner agreement, the more your outer reality must respond. Money is not avoiding you. It has simply been waiting for your invitation. Send it tonight and sleep well, knowing flow has already begun. Now let us go deeper, because some of you are thinking, this sounds beautiful, but what if I've tried positive thinking before and nothing changed? That question is honest, and honesty is fertile ground. The difference between wishing and aligning is embodiment. Many people repeat affirmations the way a parrot repeats phrases loudly, quickly, nervously, while their emotions whisper the opposite. You cannot declare abundance while emotionally clinging to scarcity. The inner agreement must match the spoken word. So tonight we refine the process. You do not fight your current financial situation. You do not pretend bills do not exist. You simply refuse to worship them. There is a difference. Some people give their bank balance more authority than their imagination. They open the app and let numbers dictate their mood, their posture, their future. But numbers are reports. They are not prophecies. They show where you have been agreeing, not where you must go. And here is something practical and slightly humorous. Stop checking your account in fear. Check it in authority. Instead of opening it and bracing yourself like you're about to watch a horror film, open it calmly and say, "Supply is reorganizing." Your nervous system must detach from panic, because panic is a powerful instruction. Your body believes what you emotionally rehearse. If you feel unsafe around money, you unconsciously push it away to protect yourself from anxiety. Yes, even that. Your system prefers familiar stress over unfamiliar abundance. So we must make abundance feel safe. Here is how. Visualization with relaxation. Tonight, when you lie down, picture yourself looking at your account and smiling. Not screaming, not fainting, smiling. See bills paid with ease. See money remaining after expenses. See generosity flowing from you without fear. But most importantly, feel calm while imagining it. Calm is the signal of safety, and safety allows expansion. Now let me address another invisible blockage: identity. Many people say they want wealth, but they still identify as the one who struggles. It has become part of their story. They say things like, "I've always had to fight for everything." And while that may have been true, it need not remain true. If struggle becomes your identity, ease will feel like betrayal. You must gently release the old identity. Try this sentence tonight. I am becoming someone for whom money flows naturally. Notice I did not say I am rich if that feels too far. I said I am becoming. Growth is believable, and the mind accepts believable upgrades more easily than dramatic leaps. Now let's discuss action, because some of you are very spiritual, but allergic to practical steps. Flow is both inner and outer alignment. If you affirm abundance but ignore opportunities, the channel narrows again. So as you practice these nightly agreements, also sharpen your awareness during the day. Ask yourself each morning, what opportunity am I overlooking? Sometimes flow is an idea you dismissed, a skill you haven't monetized, a conversation you avoided. Supply often arrives disguised as responsibility. You may be guided to learn something new, to apply for something unexpected, to reach out to someone. When inspiration comes, act quickly. Delay dampens momentum. Now here is something that may surprise you. Giving increases flow, but not reckless giving. Joyful giving, when you give even a small amount with gratitude, not obligation, you declare, there is more than enough. You move from survival to circulation, even if it is buying someone coffee with a full heart. Even if it is tipping slightly more than usual, the amount matters less than the emotion. Flow responds to the feeling of sufficiency, and sufficiency invites increase. Let me gently tease you again. Some of you want millionaire results with minimum emotional adjustment. You want money to behave differently, while you think the same thoughts. That is like planting tomato seeds and demanding mangoes. Different seed, different harvest. So tonight, we plant new seeds. Expectation of increase, calm around finances, blessing others' prosperity, action on inspired ideas, gratitude before evidence, and then we allow. Now I want you to consider something profound. What if money has not been flowing because you were meant to learn authority first? If wealth arrived while you still felt powerless, it would amplify insecurity. But when it arrives after alignment, it amplifies confidence and generosity. So nothing has been wasted. Every delay trained you. Every tight month sharpened your discernment. You are not behind. You are prepared. And preparation precedes expansion. As you move through the next week, observe your language carefully. Replace, I can't afford that, with, how can I afford that? The first closes the mind. The second opens strategy. Replace, money is hard to get, with money responds to alignment. Replace, I hope it works with It Is Organizing Now. Small shifts, massive results, because thought is architecture, emotion is electricity, action is construction. When all three cooperate, manifestation becomes natural. And now, before we close, I want to anchor this firmly. Tonight is not about fantasy. It is about agreement. You are not begging for supply. You are aligning with it. You are not forcing money to come. You are removing resistance. So as you prepare to sleep, feel this truth settle gently. Supply is constant. Channels can reopen. Flow can resume. And it begins in consciousness. If you commit to these 7 nights of practice, affirming, visualizing, blessing, acting, you will not be the same person by the end of it. Your posture will change. Your confidence will shift. Your awareness will sharpen. And when the first signs of flow appear, because they will celebrate them immediately, say, "It has begun." Momentum loves acknowledgement. Now I invite you to participate. Comment below with the one belief about money you are releasing tonight. And write the new agreement you are installing. Engage in this process actively, because passive listening changes nothing. Participation changes identity. And if this message strengthened your resolve, subscribe and continue building this inner foundation. We are not chasing money. We are becoming aligned with it. Sleep tonight in expectation. Wake tomorrow in awareness, and watch what begins to flow.